What's up guys, a Merry Christmas and soon to be a Happy New Year. In this video, I'm going to talk about a couple things, including saving a bunch of money on taxes if you purchased some NFTs that have gone down a ton like I unfortunately have. I'm also going to touch on this crypto market cycle versus other cycles. I'm going to talk about how much was lost in the crypto market from billionaires in the space. And I'm also going to talk about where I see the next year or two in this market. So the first thing I want to talk about is right here. Sell your worthless NFTs, save thousands in taxes. And this is through CoinLedger, and I will include a link below. It is an affiliate link. This is actually how I do my crypto taxes, is with CoinLedger. But what they allow you to do is essentially sell your worthless NFTs. You will sell it for basically nothing, and then you can claim the capital loss on your tax return. Now, this is really powerful if you do have some gains this year. Now, I realize that most people don't have a lot of gains this year, if any, especially if you were involved in Voyager or Celsius. Those are still to be determined. But I just want to share this with you guys. I think it's a very, very cool thing to do. I purchased a couple $1,000s of NFTs earlier this year, and I would bet that they're not going to ever be profitable again. So what I could do is just connect my wallet and again, sell it essentially to CoinLedger, and I could write off those losses. And it says here that if you have more losses than gains across all of your assets, then your net capital losses can reduce your ordinary income by up to $3,000. The rest of your losses will be carried forward to future years. So I will include the link to this below. Next, a tweet from Will Clemeni. He says the total crypto market cap is down 75% from its 2021 highs, consolidating right at previous 2017 highs. So we have been consolidating for a while, 4 months. We've been hanging around 16 to 19. Sometimes we'd pop above $21,000 or so. And it's pretty interesting to see that we have been consolidating right at the previous 2017 highs. Now, will the market go lower? I think it still will, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, I want to touch on this. So we can see that different crypto billionaires lost a bunch of money this year. CZ went from $65 billion to $4.5 billion net worth. Brian Armstrong of Coinbase went from $6 billion in March to $1.5 billion. Boohoo, must be really hard. Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen had $4.3 billion in March, now has $2.1 billion. And the Winklevoss twins of Gemini were at $4 billion each, and now they are worth around $1.1 billion. If Gemini goes under, which there is a high likelihood it will go through Chapter 11, they could be looking at $0. Speaking of which, we have Sam Bankman-Fried and Gary Wang of FTX. Their fortune stood at $24 billion for Sam, $5.9 billion for Gary, and now they are technically at $0. And I want to touch on this quote from Chris Berniski. He says, at the highs, it's, quote, this time is different and we're going higher. At the lows, it's, quote, this time is different and we are going lower. Meanwhile, he says, while it's always a little bit different, it's rarely as different as people think it will be at the extremes. And I believe we are at the extremes right now. I do believe we are going to go a little bit lower though. I do believe there will be another domino to fall. It could be something like Gemini. It could be Binance potentially. It could be something that doesn't have to do with crypto at all, kind of like what happened with Ukraine, to drive all markets down. So that leads me to this point from Dylan Leclerc. He says, once inflation gets above 5%, which it is, it's never come down unless the Fed funds rate has gotten above CPI. And this is from Stanley Druckenmiller, very, very famous investor. So taking a look at the Fed funds rate, it is around 4.25% to 4.5%. And we can see that the CPI is around 7.1%. So what he's referring to is that the Fed funds rate is going to have to get above CPI, at least going back to 1955. That's what had to happen in order to lower inflation. And that's what the Fed wants to do, possibly leading us into a recession, which is looking more and more likely for next year, 2023. So what does this mean? Well, it means that asset prices are going to go down in US dollar terms. Now, is this going to be forever? Absolutely not. We had Elon Musk on the All In podcast just about 2 days ago say that he thinks the recession is going to go until summer of 2024. So about 6 quarters of a recession. Chamath Palihapitiya of the All In podcast said that he thinks it's going to go until the first quarter of 2025. So really, this could be about a if you want to be really conservative, 2.25, 2.5 years of a down market, in addition to what we've already experienced. So what does this mean for you? well, if your funds are tied up with Voyager, Celsius, FTX, BlockFi, etc., we're just waiting to see what happens with that crap. But in other aspects, should you be taking out margin loans? No, because things can be incredibly volatile, even more volatile than we've seen. Honestly, we could have some flash crashes down. Bitcoin can drop to $10,000, $11,000. I wouldn't be surprised. So don't take out any unnecessary margin. Don't take out any loans, and just get through this time. It's time to survive. All right, guys, that is it for the video. I will leave the link to CoinLedger below. It is an affiliate link. I do get a little bit if you decide to sign up and pay for their services for crypto taxes. Also link for iTrust Capital, which I do use for my retirement account with crypto, and also for a Ledger hardware wallet, two things that I personally use. I'll leave the links to both of those below. Happy holidays, happy new year, which is coming up very soon. Hope you guys are doing well, healthy, safe, with your family, if that's what you want to do, if you like your family. If you don't like your family, well, I hope you are still having a good time. I'll talk to you later, guys. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.